All right.
You said 2 or 3.
All right. I don't know what's going on with my bit rate. All right. Here we go. Here we go. We got my bit rate going funny. What are we doing here? We're live, people. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. All right. Saying that my bit rate's having a hard time. Is that true, people? Is my bit rate having a hard time? Well, welcome. Welcome to this Sunday Fun Day. Or no, Saturday Good Time Action. And we're here to have a good time. Okay? I hope you're here too. Hey, James, I see you out there, buddy. I see you out there. Now, I know it's been a crazy week, hasn't it? It's been a wild week today, people. We've been doing all kinds of crazy stuff this week. We got James out there in the chat. We got a little bit of I cum buckets. What the fuck is a bruv? Bro, that's how we say bro over in England. Come on, man. That's how we do it. You know. But it's been a wild week, people. You two guys out in the chat now. Dude, what about all this crazy, the wife going, Charlie Kirk's wife going on, doing that live stream from the casket? Bro, crazy stuff going on, man. I got a pretty banger cartoon that I don't know if I should do or not, but I think I'm going to do it. And it has to do with Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk, so we'll see how that motherfucker goes. But it's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm looking around and I'm seeing how they're using all this, trying to use all this nostalgia against everybody. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them use the nostalgia against you guys, man. Don't let them do that. You know, trying to play on your heartstrings and manipulate you and all that kind of stuff. And we're all like, what the hell? What's going on? You know? And, you know, all the crazy theories coming out about what's going on with the AI and the videos and the, you know, the Cash Patel and all those guys getting, you know, shooter number 1, shooter number 2, shooter number 3, shooter number 4, arresting the right people, wrong people. Boy, it's been a wild week, hasn't it? Now, I was supposed to set up my whole new situation with the new software, but I set it up and tried to test it, and I guess I hit a snag. I even made some new videos to do a little intro, trying to be all snazzy and everything, and I went to go render it, and it hit a snag too. I guess my 2017 laptop just isn't cutting the mustard, as they say. You know what I mean? Cutting the mustard, bro. All right. Who knows, right? But, you know, I got that other setup that I'm going to set up, and I was supposed to do it this week, but everything got wild, and I got all these deadlines that I'm working on. Got a couple of covers that I'm trying to bang out and get out to people, get scanned and all that. Big old 11 by 17 motherfuckers, and we're trying to get that done. So, and then of course I had to make all those cartoons, you know. Had to make all those crazy cartoons and poke fun at everybody. Everybody is just so crazy, bro. And what about that reaction from all those women, man? All those women with all that crazy stuff about, I'm glad he's dead. And all that. Bro, what is that all about? That was the most disheartening thing I think I've seen in a long ass time. And them soy boys out there, well, he shouldn't have said that, and all that kind of stuff. And then they bellyache when they get fired from their job because they get caught saying stuff like that. And they say, well, I should have free speech. And dude, how do they not realize that they're being a hypocrite right there, plain as day? It's good that Kirk got shot, but they deserve free speech to dance on his grave. Like, bro, come on. What the hell is that all about, you know? I'm here thinking everybody's like at least baseline normal. Then all of a sudden, all the fucking nerds and the theater kids took over the world. What happened? What happened? And then you got them guys doing that haka for Charlie Kirk. What is that all about? You know that whole thing where they go, bro, don't you guys know that that's cringe as fuck? Jesus. Then you got, Cash Patel? I'll meet you in Valhalla, brother. Like, bro, what is that? Oh, brother, I'll meet you in Valhalla. Like, with his eyes going on like this and shit. Talking about going to the Viking heaven. Bro, I think not. I think not, dog. Don't these people have any sense? Don't they have a lick of sense? How do you make rationalize all this stuff? This is crazy. This is crazy. And you're wondering, just like I'm wondering, just like you guys out there. I come buckets and cut the grass, and we got James out there. What the fuck are these assholes thinking? Don't they have like any fucking sense of honor or like any kind of like self-awareness or anything like that? I guess not. I guess not, man. I guess not. But dude, it's been wild, hasn't it? It's been a wild ride. And I've really felt this kind of energy from a certain base of women for a long time. And I remember going out to meeting different people in LA, and I get this vibe. You know what I'm saying? I get this really strong vibe of just like derision or hatred or whatever. And funny story. So you're raised right, okay? Let's just say you're raised right. You're raised by a mom and a dad who know what's what, and they instill upon you morals and all that good stuff. And you're supposed to open the door for women. You're supposed to do all that, pull out their chair on a date and all that kind of stuff. Just say that's what you're supposed to do, right? I did all that, right? You're raised Christian, turn the other cheek, you're doing this, you're doing that. And I tell you, I had a breaking point. And I'm going to tell you what my breaking point was. Like, I had gotten the shit into the stick so many fucking times that one day when I was in LA, I was going to the gym. And I was walking behind these women, and I was in front of some women, okay? And I always held the door for women when I went to the gym, okay? And I was walking behind these women, and there was a guy, and he held the door open for them as they went into the gym. And then he let the door go, and the door slid closed, and there was another woman right in front of me, and she was walking, and she slid in the door, like, slid in as the door was closing, didn't touch it, trying to get in as the door was closing. and the door didn't slam, but the door closed like right in my face. Like right in my face. And I thought, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not holding the door open for women ever again, right? unless it's one of my loved ones, my mom, my aunt, girlfriend, whatever. Or part of my family or whatever. And I was like, fuck this, okay? Fuck this. So that was my breaking point. And there would have been some other things that had happened like before that. Like I remember I went out with some friends, and we went out and got a drink or something like that. It was just like a casual meetup, and there was girls there. And the women they just got up and left when we were all getting ready to leave, and didn't even think about the bill or think about offering to pay for the bill. They just assumed that the guys would take care of it. And bro, that really rubbed me the wrong way. And so I was like, fuck that, right? Fuck that. And at least there used to be this, like, they would make the effort, or they would appreciate, or they would, make a gesture or appreciate your gesture of holding the door open or covering the tab or whatever. But it seems like nowadays, correct me if I'm wrong, any of you guys out there, correct me if I'm wrong. Nowadays, there's this expectation like it's due them. It's due them. And it really pisses you off. It really does. When I'm extending an olive branch or kindness or chivalry or hospitality or whatever the hell you want to call it, and they think that that's what they deserve and that's normal and they should get that, and not even a reciprocation of any form of appreciation for that, bro, that's the quickest way to stamp that shit out. Like, snuff that out. It's done. Over with. Okay, you want to be that way? Go and fucking fight your own fight. Go open your own door. Go walk through your own puddles. Go fight your own robber in the middle of the night. If somebody snatches your purse, go ahead. You chase that motherfucker down in your high heels, and you get your damn purse back. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it now. Tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me if I'm wrong. Okay? Tell me if I'm wrong. But I don't think I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong at all. I don't think I'm wrong at all because it's not appreciated, it's not valued, and it's not selected for in society. There would be a time when a man would Be like, bring flowers on a date, wear a dinner jacket or something like that, and it would be appreciated. Okay? It would be appreciated. Of course, that was back in the day, but it would be appreciated. There was an understanding of social protocol where the man does this and the woman reciprocates and appreciates it. And nowadays, bro, if you're out there on the dating market, try showing up to a date with flowers and see what happens. Just try. Okay? It seems like the only thing that's appreciated or reciprocated is when you kind of are too busy for the woman and she chases after you. Okay? So that's how it's become now, right? You give the least to get the most instead of having a two-way relationship. And I remember thinking, I was sitting at a date one time and I was thinking, why am I trying to get this person to like me? Like, you know what I mean? This was quite some time ago, but I was like, why am I even sitting here trying to like pay attention to their boring ass stories? Why the hell am I sitting here trying to keep the conversation going and keeping them entertained and trying to think about the next story I'm going to tell so I keep them interested in this social interaction? Fuck that. You know, that was a time when I had my, my breaking point. And I was just like, nah, not anymore. It's over with. It's over with. You're lucky if I'm here to be interested in you because I'm the one that's changing the car tire. I'm the one that's opening the door, fighting the bad guys. I'm doing all that, right? And all I ask for in return is a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of genuine desire, a little bit of adoration, and maybe can you fucking cook? Like, dude, what's up with these women who can't cook anymore? Like, what the hell are they... You know what I'm saying? I don't know how this turned into a woman rant, but it turned into a woman rant. You know what I mean? And I guess it's because I've seen all these women out there saying, oh, it's good somebody finally had the balls to do this. Oh, it's good. He deserved it. Yeah, I guess he'll think twice about sharing his opinions in public. Well, no shit, bitch. He's dead. Okay? He ain't thinking anymore. All right? You get me? No shit. Okay? What kind of society, think about this for a minute. What kind of society are women projecting where you have to keep your mouth shut unless it's in harmony with the majority? That's hive mind right there, right? This is why women shouldn't run shit. You get me? Hive mind mentality. They avoid conflict. They don't shoulder accountability. Well, not like Jesse Lee Peterson says, not all, but most. Not all, but most. You know what I mean? Better. Bro, you guys, I had all these videos set up that I was going to play, a little intro, and I was trying to get little sound effects. It didn't come together. It didn't come together. Next week, I'll have it. I'll have it all, okay? You guys will see, all right? You'll be like, damn, he really pulled that together. I was hoping to be impressive this week, but of course, I fell flat on my face. That's what I did. I fell flat on my face. You know what I'm saying? I got my Dream Reaver. I mean, my DaVinci Resolve over here. That's what I use to edit with. Running on my 2017 laptop, and I'm trying to render these videos, and sometimes it just crashes. So I render them sometimes before I go to bed and let it render all night because sometimes they take a while, And we get up in the morning and it damn thing crashed. You know what I'm saying? So I'll have to re-render it, no big deal. But that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got some people out here in the chat. We warming everybody up. We got Pat out there. Shout out to Pat. I see you out there. Okay. We got who else? We got Icon Buckets. We got you out there, dog. We got James out there. We got B. I don't know what B&B cross some 9, but he's saying I'm not wrong. And he's right. I'm not wrong, okay? I'm not wrong. It's funny. I was reading this thing the other day, and they were saying, women need to be stronger. There's strong women out there. And this is one of my pet peeves, too. I'm just going to make this a full-blown rant. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm all worked up today, and y'all are right here, and I'm just going to pour it on out, okay? Now, they're saying that women need to be stronger and blah, blah, all this kind of crap or whatever. And I'm sitting there thinking, that's like saying a bunny rabbit needs to have bigger claws and go kill a bear, right? A bunny rabbit was designed to be cute, to hop around, to fuck like crazy, and to eat a couple of fucking carrots. You know what I'm saying? A bunny rabbit wasn't designed to go out there and be an apex predator. You get what I'm saying? So a woman is not designed to go out there and hunt down people. I know we've been watching all kinds of shows, and don't even get me started about the Terminal List on Prime right now. That show, you guys remember the Terminal List? It had it came out like last year or something. It has Chris Pratt in it. He's a Navy SEAL. Well, they got the second season going on right now, and that thing's a big piece of shit. The first one was pretty good, but this one is all fucked up. All kinds of terrible. It's got an Israeli Mossad agent woman in it, and she just took on this guy who was like, 400 pounds and beat the shit out of him. I'm just like, she put an armbar on him. Bro, I'm sorry. You cannot, even if you get an armbar on a man who has any kind of muscle on him, you're done for if you're a woman. He's just going to punch you right into the refrigerator. You get me? I mean, come on. So that's what I'm saying. Women, they're doing you a disservice by writing you as men, right? They're stripping women of all of those things that women are designed to do. You don't take an F1 car and turn it into a dump truck, right? You take an F1 car and try to fill it up with rocks and gravel and tell it to go do a dump truck's job. It's not going to work. And that's what's going on right now. Women, you guys are F1 race cars, okay? Be proud of it. You're beautiful, You're complex, you're sensitive. You're designed to have kids. You're designed to be the heart of a home. I always say this, a man, if you're looking at like a comic book, right? It's an analogy. Follow me, people. I know I'm stacking a lot of analogies here, but that's why you're here. You're here to hear my analogies. Come on, let's go. What's up, K-Reds? I see you out there, dog. Boop. But, hey, if you're looking at a comic book, right? Men are the black and white lines in the comic book, okay? And women are the color that are coloring those lines. Men set the boundaries. Women give a reason for existence. You got me? Women make life worth living, right? Take women out of the equation and all you got is black and white lines, right? Take men out of the equation and all you got is crazy color all over the page. Doesn't make any sense, That's how it is. And these people out there doing all this new media or whatever for the past 10 years or ever since it just went to shit are writing women like they're men and writing men like they're women, okay? That ain't how it's supposed to be, right? When did we forget about how to make a good cop show, okay? Now let's talk about The Wire for a second. The Wire is a fantastic example, okay? You can write a woman with a hard edge, right? You got Kima. She's in The Wire. And it's okay if she's lesbian. I got no beef with that. She's a great character. She embodies all of those feminine traits, but she's still a little bit masculine, right? That's about the upper limit of how to write women like tough and strong, like Kima, okay? That's a great show. How come we can't write shows like that anymore? What happened, man? We got the wrong people in the wrong positions in entertainment. And that brings me up to something else. I don't know if you guys saw this. But that John Turturro guy, he played Jesus in The Big Lebowski, and he was in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And, he's the bowler, remember? That does the thing with the bowling ball, and he licks it with his tongue, like, ah. And he says, you don't fuck with the Jesus. That guy, okay? His son is like trans, right? And somehow he got his son one of the head jobs at DC Comics. And so he's hiring writers that are like him. Not for the job, not to be good, but because they're like him. They have his same psychology. That's what's happened to media. That's what's happened to video games. That's what's happened to movies, man. All of these characters can exist. Okay? We can have a strong man. You can even have a sensitive man. You can have a strong woman written as a woman. You can have a sensitive woman. And you can have gay people. And obviously, they're in the world. They should be in these stories, right? But write them as they are. Don't write them as some sort of illusion or grand delusion, you know. Don't write them as some sort of projection, you know. It's all bullshit. Write them as they really are, and you'll get a good story out of it, you know. Don't try to create some kind of bullshit that don't make no sense when you got like a 110-pound woman trying to give this 300-pound linebacker an armbar. Like, what the hell is even that, man? It just ruins it all. And then all these women, I don't know if you've been seeing these videos, think they can step up to men now. Have you guys seen these videos? They're all over YouTube and TikTok. And these women are getting punched in the face, and then they wilt and they cry. Okay? That's what's going to happen. I'm saying this stuff trying to protect women from stepping up to men who are ready to hurt them. Like, fuck that, right? I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But I do want to see women, like, recognize what game they're playing right here. And kind of, like, choose not to play that game because they're not going to win. They're being goaded into this game. And it's not going to end good for them, you know, unfortunately. And apparently there's a lot of men being raised right now that are heartless. They're going to be quick to put out the rights and the lefts. You know, what do they say? Equal rights and equal lefts, you know? We don't want none of that, right? We don't want no equal rights and equal lefts on these people. Okay? We want to protect the women. We want the women to be what they're supposed to be, like an F1 race car. Not like a bumper car or a dump truck or a tow truck. That's what men are supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? Men go out there and get the shit beat out of them all day in the world, fighting with the world, and they come home and they get put back together by their woman. They find solace in their woman. They find a soft place to land. You know, men don't get no sunshine in the world, so they get all of their sunshine from their woman. That's a very powerful position. Okay, that's a very powerful position, and just write women like that, right? Just write them that way. That's so fascinating. You know, it's not fascinating when I see on a movie a man come in and he's like this big man who's trained his whole life in all these mixed martial arts, and then he's like worked out like 12 hours a day for the last 5 years, and he's punched this metal plate with his hand, right? And then you got this woman walk in with a ponytail who's been eating sushi, doing Pilates, and she does this number. Like, what the hell? Like, come on. Like, nowhere, no how. This is never going to happen, right? So quit it. That's lazy writing. It's stupid. It's ham-fisted, and it's propaganda is really what it is. It's propaganda. You know, so fuck that shit, right? Fuck that shit. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. We just solved the men and women crisis. Stick a fork in it. It's done. Good job to you guys. Good job to me. Gold star, gold star, gold star. Okay? So we're doing good out here. That's our this is what we're doing on our Saturday, okay? We're out here solving problems, people. All right. So I got this idea for this cartoon, and you guys tell me what you think, okay? This could be a little over the line or not. I'm sure you guys saw the other day, you know, Ben Shapiro. He comes out and he makes this this speech about how he's ready to pick up the bloody mantle of Charlie Kirk, right? You guys seen that? That was wild. I saw that and I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the hell? And I don't know if you guys saw, but a lot of people, primarily Mersh is the first one that I saw say this. Mersh goes, just watch who's going to say that they're going to take over TPUSA. That's going to be the person we need to watch out for. And I agreed with it. I was like, oh, hell yeah, that's true, right? And the first person to come out and say he's picking up the mantle is Ben Shapiro. And I was just like, holy shit, that's wild. Okay, so here's my idea for the cartoon, right? All right, this might be too much. Okay, you guys tell me if it's too much or not. So I don't know exactly how it's going to be. It might be a 4-panel or something like that. Panel number 1, we got Charlie Kirk in the casket or whatever. Panel number 2, we got Ben Shapiro saying he's going to take over Charlie Kirk's position. He's going to pick up the mantle. Panel number 3, he bends back and looks at the, he's doing something over the casket, right? Panel number 4, he's cut Charlie Kirk's face off and put it over his own and says, hello, fellow Goy, or something like that. What do you think about that? Is that too much? That's kind of that's napalm right there. That's a little bit of That's a grenade I'm getting ready to throw. I don't know if I should do it or not, right? I think I should probably do it. What do you guys think? You guys think I should do it? But anyway, that's going to be, a pretty cutting edge cartoon. And no, we're here to do that, right? We're here to make our cocaine the most pure cocaine we can do. We're here to go ahead and make, as much live action as we can, as much as powerful of a statement, a punch as we can give. They don't pull no punches to us. You guys notice that? They kick our asses, man. They kick our asses. Have you seen how much hamburger is at the store? Like I was talking to somebody the other day, and we were driving by the gas station, and the talking about the gas, and it's kind of weird how they always put the gas station like numbers right on, so everybody can see them all the time, and it's kind of like a little indicator. Oh my God, gas went up by a nickel. Oh my God, gas went up by a dime. Oh my God, gas went up by whatever. And so it's like a psychological pressure every time you go by gas stations, right? And of course, it's like $4.60 or something like that a gallon out here. But I tell you what, I went to Costco the other day to buy these briskets, and no joke, the briskets were $4.75 a pound. Okay, briskets went up. They used to be like I said, $1.23 or something like that, and they went up to whatever I just said they were, and they jumped up by like $4, bro. $4. What if you were at the gas station, driving by the gas stations, and instead of it jumping up by a nickel or a dime or a couple pennies, it just jumped up by $4 one day? Okay? Same thing with eggs. Same thing with, all meats. Jumped up by like $4. And I was like, holy shit, right? And so something else happened. I was looking, I like to get my art books and whatnot. And who doesn't, right? Some people get whatever. I like to get art books, right? Because art books help me get excited, and I take things and, get inspiration and look around and all that shit, right? So one of my favorite comic books of all time was J. Scott Campbell's Danger Girl. I love Danger Girl, right? And Danger Girl was kind of this idea about like, it's Charlie's Angels kind of concept set in this world where they're kind of spies and they have these guns, but it's really high on the sex appeal, okay? And it came out in the 90s, and I absolutely loved it. I got like the first however many issues or whatever back in the day, and I still got them. Anyway, they're doing a artist rendition of the omnibus, of the collection of all of the comics, right? And they just launched it on Kickstarter, and when I say an artist edition, that means it's just going to be J. Scott Campbell's inks. No collar, nothing else, just his inks. And I love to look at that because I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do with this. This is my idea for that. This is what I want to do for that. When I make my own images or comics or whatever, right? And I'm all excited because I'm like, all right, I'm going to get this book. It's just going to be the black and white book, there's different levels on the Kickstarter. You can get the bottom one, or if you're a big baller, you can get the, high one or whatever. It's like $500 maybe. I don't know. This is what I'm thinking. And you get all these other extras. But I'm like, I'm not a big baller, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to get the bottom tier is what I'm thinking. And I'm all excited. And I set the reminder to remind me when it goes live, like a month or two ago. And I'm like thinking, I'm going to get this book. So anyway, it goes live, and I go and I look to see how much the bottom tier is. And I'm thinking, like I said, $50, right? This motherfucker has got the book for $150. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, right? I can go out there and buy a completely colored omnibus of all of it for $60 of Danger Girl, of all the issues. And he's hitting here selling this book for $150, right? And then, of course, the higher tiers go even higher, and at the top is like $1,000. And I'm like, bro, is it just the time to gouge everybody or what? You got these people gouging for the beef, you got them gouging for the eggs, you got them gouging on every aspect, right? And then hell, if you try to go ahead and sell yourself your own little thing, people are gonna freak out and give you a hard time for that. But you're turning around seeing all these other people out here with these big businesses gouging the hell out of everything. You know what I'm saying? So bro, it's wild out there. It's wild. So anyway, I said, fuck that, I'm not getting that fucking artist proof thing for 150. Bro, it put such a bad taste in my mouth, right? It really did. I got all angry about it, And I'll probably go ahead and get the omnibus one. I saw them out there for $60. I could probably get a used one or whatever, you know, for 30 or something like that with all of it in there. But I'm just like, what the hell is even this, man? And that kind of brings me up to what I'm working on. I'm working on the, you know, some of the Kitty City stuff. And I got, yeah, let's go ahead and jump down to camera 2. Let me, wait, hold on, before you do that, I got to turn that on real quick. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let it come up real quick. I'm working on things, people. I'm getting everything set up right. You know what I'm saying, people? All right, jump down to camera 2. Fantastic. And, you know, I got this Kitty City thing right here I'm working on, okay? All this Kitty City action, right? And this is a big-ass piece of paper right here, 11 by, yeah, it's a work of art. And anyway, this is Mersh, and it's a 2-panel. You got the evil cat right here saying, kill them all. This is the evil cat. And this is Mersh on some sort of advanced machine flying through with his cats shooting a big ray gun or something like that back, you know, of course. And that's kind of what I'm working on right now with Kitty City, okay? So I'm really excited about that. And I'm going to put that motherfucker up for free. So what do you think about them apples, all right? How do you think about them apples, all right? I got some of these other artworks I wanted to share real quick that I came across. Let me go ahead and set this up a little bit better right here. Right here, here we go. You can put me up in the corner if you want. I appreciate it. So I got this guy right here. And these are just gouache paintings that I used to do. I used to drive around in my neighborhood over there in Hermosa Beach, and I just did a whole bunch of these gouache paintings. Okay, and gouache is just opaque watercolor that sits on the top of watercolor paper, and it's a little bit like poor man's oils. You know, they're just like poor man's oil paintings. And I really like gouache, and a lot of people in the comic book industry used to use gouache a lot to paint their panels and add color to things. Of course, now that's gone by the wayside since everybody does it on the computer now. And these are a whole bunch of paintings of Hermosa Beach. Okay, now we got a whole bunch of eucalyptus trees down there in Hermosa. And so I went around painting all of them, and down in Hermosa Beach, and a lot of palm trees. And I would just go out there and sit on the side of the road and paint it for, it would take me about an hour to paint all these. And of course I did oil painting too, but I really like gouache because it's a lot of fun. You know, you can experiment with a lot of things, and it's easy cleanup, and it dries very quickly. This is Manhattan Beach right here. Now, the bad thing about oils is that it takes a while for it to dry, unless you get good at oils, of course, and then it's not really a big deal. Now, that's Catalina Island right there in the background, and then this is Palos Verdes right here. And this used to be the view from my window in my apartment. Okay. Now this is over by the dock in Redondo Beach, right there at the dock. Right by Captain Kidd's, the restaurant. And of course, here's the dock. I would go to the dock quite often and paint the boats. I have a ton of images of boats being painted, and some sunsets. And quite often I could just paint from my window in my room. How about that, huh? That's pretty good. That ain't too bad. That ain't too shabby. And so that we had some brilliant sunsets, and of course I love seeing Catalina off in the distance. That was something else, you know. And I painted the beach all the time. And then there's this little green belt that had trees and all kinds of stuff, and you got Palos Verdes there in the background. And this is right over there on Hermosa Beach. And we got some more boats at the harbor. At the Redondo Beach Harbor right there. That was a lot of fun. The storm clouds rolling in out of Denny's. The sunset in the background. Catching those buildings in the back, you know. And then right over here is down by, they call this over in Redondo Beach, I forget what they call it, but it's like they liken it to a place in Europe. And then, oh yeah, they call it the Riviera. That's what they call it. And then this right here is a sunset. You know, and I'm just out there. This is Palos Verdes again. from the Riviera, from the same place out there. Okay. Here we got another sunset. You know, and I would just go out there and paint all these, have a good time. You know, have some fun. We got some, this was actually at a hotel. I painted this. I think this might have been the Roosevelt Hotel in LA. Was where I painted this one. And this is in Manhattan Beach. I was watching the sunset. This is right by the meat market in Manhattan Beach. Had a good time there. And then this is Manhattan Beach. We had, this is right there on the boardwalk, right before you go into the, on the pier right there. Back up here is all the restaurants. This is downtown LA. And I went and painted some reflection on the big buildings down in LA. Because, you know, it's absolutely magical when the sun's out in LA and you got downtown and you got the reflection. Same thing with San Francisco, okay? This is in Palos Verdes down on a hidden beach. Well, it's hard to get there. It's not hidden, but it's hard to get there, okay? Then this is at the London Hotel, I believe. At the top of the London Hotel, they have a pool. And I went up there and got lunch one day and I painted the pool. And that was a lot of fun, you know, downtown LA, San Vicente. And then here's some birds of paradise. These are actually right next to my gym. I would walk by them every day and I was like, wow, those are gorgeous. So I just had to paint them one day. Right? And then this is one of my favorite eucalyptus trees on that green belt down there in Hermosa Beach, where I would walk my dog, Sheriff, bulldog. An English bulldog, people. And so that's that. Those are a whole bunch of fun memories that I'm glad I could share with you guys. Let me come back to one. So anyway, let me check in the chat before we bounce on out of here. Say hey to everybody. I got Cut the Grass out there. How you doing, buddy? Hey to James. We got hey to Mr. Jiki. We got him out there. We got Gnostic Guru out there. We got BRB Crossing Over Awesome 9. I think that's how you say that. I'm just trying to go real quick. So I get your name wrong. Sorry about that. Let's get it going the next time, okay? We got FOMO out there. Hey, FOMO, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Professor Grass, obviously, out there. Bro, did you guys see Professor Grass's little animation of Mersh? That was fantastic, man. Well, I reposted it on my Twitter. You guys go check it out. It's perfect, okay? So Professor Grass, here's what I was going to say. I got this idea, right? What I want to do is I want to take Ryan Harkness's live loops. He's making me a few. And I want to take some illustrations that are kind of what you did. And I have this idea that as the loop builds, the scene grows and then it ends in this like excitement or whatever. And I want to do them like those old school Red Bull cartoons that they used to have on the commercials. You know, where it's kind of sketchy and it's only the lines and all that kind of stuff. So I want to do that. So we'll have to chat about that, Grass, because you did a fucking banger job. I loved it. I think I played that thing like 10 times. And the way that he laughed at the end caught the whole emotion of everything. So it really made me happy, made me smile. And that's what we're all about here. We're all about elevating our life through creativity. We're all about sharing that excitement through joy, through happiness, and through all of that. Okay? So I want you guys to do that today. Be happy, treat yourself well, get out there, kick some fucking ass. That's what we say. Let's fucking go. And let's go ahead and make that happen. Now go out there and have a great time, have a great job, and get after it. Let's go, Jared. Come on, buddy. Let's go. All right.